Picture this: a packed living room in Ikeja GRA, the will about to be read, and then a woman in white steps in, gasps, chairs scrape, her parents tremble, her husband's fingers are still laced with her best friend's. Uniformed officers push through the doorway with quiet handcuffs and louder truth. Tonight, Amaka Obasi returns from the dead to bury the lies that tried to bury her. Before we dive in, hit that like button to boost this story and subscribe if you're new to this journey of shocking truths and poetic justice. The central conflict: when greed wears the mask of love, who counts as family and who is the enemy? The question that keeps you watching. As Amaka exposes betrayal in Lagos, who will fall first, Kelechi, Lillian, or the parents who chose money over memory? Let's get into it. Amaka Adeoye sat at the back pew, disguised like a village grandmother. Her shawl hid her face. No one glanced her way. No one knew she was the one they came to lay to rest. She wasn't dead. Amaka had staged her death. She wanted the truth. For months, she had felt something off. Her husband, Kunle, moved strangely. Her best friend, Bissy, stayed glued to him. Her parents kept pressing for money. She began to wonder if, without her, anyone would miss her or only miss her wealth. So she arranged everything: a fake crash, a burned car, a body they couldn't fully identify. Everyone accepted she was gone. Now she sat and watched her own burial. The church was packed. People cried. Some only acted. Amaka's mother wailed in front, but Amaka knew the tears weren't real. Her father sat silent beside her. They both looked more worried about what came next. Kunle sat by the coffin. He wore black and looked sorrowful. But Bisi, Amaka's best friend, sat beside him. She held his hand. She wore black lace, too. Amaka's chest tightened. Just 2 days after her death, they were already showing themselves. Then Amaka saw the only honest face in the hall, her younger sister, Kamsi. She looked drained and weak. Her eyes were red. She had cried for days. She walked slowly to the coffin and touched it. "Big sister," she sobbed, "you said we'd be together forever. You promised to see me through school. You said you'd stand at my wedding. Why did you leave me?" She fell to her knees. Her voice cracked. 2 women rushed to lift her. Amaka couldn't bear it. Her eyes filled. She wanted to run to Kamsi and tell her everything, but she couldn't. She looked again at her husband and her best friend. They whispered. They even smiled. Amaka leaned back, her face set. Now she was sure Kamsi was the only one who truly loved her. The rest came for her possessions. And this was only the beginning. The service had barely ended when the real trouble started. Still in disguise, Amaka sat quietly outside near the cars. People drifted away, but her parents stayed. So did Kunle and Bisi. Amaka watched from a corner, posing as a tired old guest. She clutched her wrapper and kept her head down, but she listened hard. Her mother, Madame Adeoye, faced Kunle. "Now that this is over," she said sharply, "we must discuss her properties." Amaka had no child. By custom, her wealth returns to us, her parents. That is proper. Kunle frowned. "Excuse me, Ma," he said. "I was her husband. We were legally married. I have rights too." "You?" her father barked. "What work do you even do? What money did you ever bring? Amaka fed you, clothed you, gave you cars, even set up your business. You only became something through her." Kunle raised his voice. "That doesn't change that I'm her husband. You can't shove me aside. I stayed with her every day. I know her wishes. She would never want her parents to seize everything." Bisi stepped forward. Her tone was cold. We all know Amaka planned to include me in her will. She told me herself I would oversee some businesses if anything happened. I was her closest friend." Amaka's father laughed harshly. "Friend, now you want to share our daughter's things too. What kind of friend are you?" Amaka watched it all. Her heart pounded. They were already clawing like animals. No one spoke of her memories, her dreams, her life. It was land, buildings, cars, bank accounts. Her mother kept shouting. Her father hurled insults at Kunle. Kunle jabbed accusing fingers. Bisi stood between them like a queen claiming what wasn't hers. Then something squeezed Amaka's chest. Kamsi walked in. She looked drained, her face puffed from tears. Her voice was soft but steady. "This isn't the time," she said. "You're circling like vultures over a body that's still warm. What about Amaka? Does anyone even miss her?" Her parents turned to her. Her mother snapped, "Keep quiet, Kamsi. You're too young to speak on this." Kamsi didn't stop. "I may be young, but I was the only one who truly loved her, the only one who didn't take from her. She paid my fees. She listened to me. She shared her fears. She worked so hard. And now that she's gone, you're here ripping everything apart." Bisi rolled her eyes. "Oh, please spare us. This is adult talk." Kamsi stared at her. "You're not even family." Kunle stepped forward. "Kamsi, don't disrespect her." Amaka held her breath. Heat climbed her chest. Kunle was defending Bisi openly, right before her family. She couldn't believe it. She had trusted both of them, given them her heart. Now they were fighting over her assets like she was nothing. Kamsi began to cry. "This wasn't our promise," she whispered. "Amaka, why did you die? Why now? I can't bear this. I hate all of you." She ran off. Amaka rose slowly. Her heart tore. She wanted to run after Kamsi, hold her, tell her it was all staged, but not yet. She had to finish what she started. She had to expose those who claimed to love her. She looked one last time at her parents, her husband, her best friend. They were angry not because they lost her, but because they wanted what she left. Amaka clenched her fists. They buried her too soon. Now they would learn the woman they buried was still watching. And she was angry. Kunle and Bisi sat together in the house that used to be Amaka's. The air was quiet, but they shared the same thought. The house would soon be theirs. Everything Amaka owned, businesses, cars, houses, bank accounts, they wanted all of it. Kunle stared at the wall. "It still feels unreal," he said. "She's gone, just like that. No stress, no fight, no divorce. Gone." Bisi looked at him. "That's what you wanted." Kunle gave a small nod. "Yes, I wanted it. I was tired of pretending, tired of living under her. She acted above everyone because she had money." Bisi leaned closer. "But you got what you wanted. She's out of the way. Now we focus on the main thing, taking everything she left." Kunle kept quiet for a while, then said, "Her parents are a problem. They're already acting like the property is theirs. They think that because she had no child, everything goes back to them," Bisi added. "But they forgot she was married." Kunle nodded. "Legally married, I was her husband. Even with our issues, we were still married. That gives me rights. They don't want to hear that. Her father told me to my face I brought nothing to Amaka's life, that I lived off her hand." Kunle laughed bitterly. "He isn't wrong. I didn't have much, but Amaka didn't build it all alone. I helped. I stood by her. I kept quiet. I waited. Now it's my turn to enjoy." Bisi smiled. "And what about me?" Kunle looked at her. "You know I wanted you before Amaka." Bisi nodded. "I remember, but you chose her. She had the money, the name. I had no choice. I needed that life. I needed a way out of poverty. Amaka was the key, and she gave me what I needed. But you, Bissy, were always the one I wanted in my bed, the one I wanted as my wife. Bissy's face brightened. So now we make it official. Yes, Kunle said. Once the papers are done, once the lawyers move everything, we leave this country. We'll get married, start our life, rich, free. Bissy sat up. So what about her parents? Kunle's voice fell. If they keep blocking me, I'll remove them. Bissy's eyes widened. You mean I've spoken to someone, Kunle said. He handles things. He'll frighten them first. If they don't back off, he'll do more. Bissy was quiet for a moment, then smiled slowly. You're serious? I'm not playing again. I've waited too long. They're old. They have no power. They should keep quiet and enjoy whatever I give them. If they refuse, they disappear. Bissy nodded. That's my man. Kunle held her gaze. We've come too far to fail. Amaka is gone. This is our time. All that's left is to finish the plan. Bissy said. So let me be clear. The house, the company shares, the boutique, the estate lands, everything will move to your name. Yes, Kunle said. The lawyer said the process has started. There's just a delay because of her parents. They're trying to fight it. But I told him to fast-track it. I don't care how. And the cars are already in my name, he added. She did that while she was alive. Bissy laughed. You planned this well. Kunle leaned back. It's called patience. Amaka was too proud because she gave me things she thought I'd always obey. She never imagined I had my own plans. Bissy asked. So what about her sister? The small one, Kamsi? Yes. Kunle waved it off. She's a child. She'll cry for a few weeks and move on. She has no say here. Are you sure? That girl loved Amaka too much. And what can she do? Cry in a corner? She has no lawyer, no money, no voice. Let her cry. I'll give her something small when we're done so she leaves us alone. Bissy laughed. You're wicked. Kunle grinned. I'm smart. That's the difference. Silence sat between them. They both stared at the ceiling. Then Bissy spoke. Sometimes I wonder what Amaka would do if she saw all this. Kunle chuckled. She'd scream. She'd try to fight. She was always the fighter. But she isn't here now, Bissy said. I thought you were joking. I wasn't, he replied. I was tired. She controlled everything. She even started talking about changing her will, giving some to her sister, cutting me out. That's when I knew I had to move. You did the right thing, Bissy said. Kunle looked at her. Do you trust me? Bissy didn't blink. With my life, then follow my lead. Don't tell anyone. Don't make noise. Just wait. In 2 weeks, we'll be free, rich, untouchable. Bissy nodded slowly. I'm ready. Kunle stood and looked around. Everything in this house is ours now. Soon the documents will say the same. All Amaka's years of work, running up and down, it ends with us. Bissy smiled proudly. That's what happens when people don't see what they have. She was busy chasing the world and forgot the snake in her house. She thought I was loyal, Kunle said. But loyalty is for fools. Bissy laughed. And love. Kunle met her eyes. Love is for the rich. And we're about to be very, very rich. Silence returned, heavy with greed and satisfaction. They had waited long enough. Now the game was in their hands. All they needed was to move quietly, clear obstacles, and collect the prize. Amaka's death wasn't a tragedy to them. It was a door, and they had already walked through it. Kamsi sat alone in her room, holding a photo of Amaka. Her eyes were red. Her heart was heavy. Each time she looked at her sister's face, she felt lost. Amaka was more than a sister. She was her best friend, her support, her second mother. Losing her felt like losing everything. She thought about the last time they spoke, Amaka had sounded worn out. She told Kamsi, "People around me are changing. I don't even know who to trust anymore." Kamsi had warned her. She told her to be careful with Bisi. She told her Kunle was trouble. But Amaka didn't listen. Just then her bedroom door swung open. It was her mother. She stood there, angry, hands planted on her waist. "So this is where you've been hiding," she snapped. Kamsi wiped her face. "Mama, what is it again?" Her mother stepped in, eyes blazing. "You're here crying and sleeping while your father and I are outside fighting for your sister's properties." Kamsi frowned. "Fighting for what?" "For what belongs to us," her mother shot back. "For your sister's things. Or do you want that useless Kunle to carry everything?" Kamsi sat up slowly, confused. "So that's what this is about? You're not mourning Amaka. You're angry because you want her money?" Her mother hissed and pointed at her. "Don't speak to me like that. I'm your mother. You should stand with us. We're fighting for your sister's wealth. That boy, that nobody, that jobless Kunle wants to take it all, and you're just sitting here doing nothing." Kamsi's voice climbed. "I thought you loved Amaka. I thought you were grieving her." Her mother laughed bitterly. "Yes, we loved her, but love is not enough. We can't fold our hands and watch our daughter's hard work enter the pocket of a man who brought nothing to her life." Kamsi's heart raced. She stared at her mother in disbelief. "Mama, do you hear yourself? You're talking about Amaka like she's a bag of cash. She was our daughter." Her mother snapped and refused to hear it. "We warned her not to marry that poor boy. We told her to marry from a good family, someone with his own. She said no. She was stubborn. Now look, that foolish Kunle is even sleeping with her best friend." Kamsi shouted. "I told her, Mama, I told her about Bisi. I told her not to trust that girl, but she didn't listen to me." Her mother stepped closer. "Then why aren't you helping us? Join me and your father. Let's fight for what is ours." Kamsi stood, angry. "Mama, what if Amaka already wrote a will? What if she shared her things before she died?" Her mother scoffed. "Never. Even if she did, that boy must not get anything. I won't allow it. Not after all we suffered. I need enough money to look good, to enjoy life. When your sister was alive, she barely sent us money, always saying business is bad. Yet she was giving Kunle everything. That lazy, jobless boy." Kamsi's eyes widened. "Wait, so this is really about you feeling she didn't give you enough before?" Her mother didn't blink. "Exactly. When she was alive, I couldn't even buy good lace. I couldn't take care of myself. She kept saying, 'Mama, be patient. Business is slow.' Now I know the truth. She was feeding Kunle and his people. She was building that man's life while we suffered. No more. I want to enjoy now that she's gone." Kamsi felt the ground shift. Her own mother, the woman who gave birth to Amaka, was talking like Amaka was only a source of money. "You're unbelievable," Kamsi said softly, her voice shaking. "I thought I was alone because I lost my sister, but now I know I am truly alone." Her mother folded her arms. "You better stop talking nonsense. Join us now. The lawyer is already preparing papers. We'll take it to court if we must." Kamsi grabbed her bag. "Number, I can't stay in this house anymore." "Where are you going?" her mother asked sharply. "To my boyfriend's place." Her mother's voice rose. "Which boyfriend? That broke boy? Haven't you learned anything? This is how your sister started. We warned her too. She said love matters more than money. Look at her now, dead." Kamsi's hands trembled. "Don't use Amaka like that. Don't ever. She gave everything to this family. You used her when she lived, and now you're circling her things like vultures." Her mother jabbed a finger at her. "Kamsi, If you step out that door, you'll end up just like your sister. Mark it." Kamsi stared at her. Her voice turned cold. "Then I'd rather end up like her than become like you." Her mother gasped. "What did you say?" Kamsi said, "Mama, you will meet your ancestors before I ever become like you." Her mother raised a hand to slap her, but Kamsi didn't flinch. She turned and walked out. Her legs were weak, but her chest was on fire. She moved down the street with her phone in her hand, crying quietly. She had lost her sister, and now it felt like she had lost her parents too. She reached her boyfriend's door and knocked. He opened, saw her face, and pulled her into a hug without a word. That night, Kamsi couldn't sleep. Her mother's words wouldn't leave her head. All those years Amaka worked, helped people, stayed strong, and this was the thank you she got. Kamsi stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Sister, I don't know if you can hear me, but I swear I won't let them stain your name. I won't let them fight like animals over what you built. I don't care about the money. I just want the truth, and I'll find it." Kunle sat in his car with his hands shaking. His jaw was tight, his anger boiling. For 2 weeks he had waited. 2 full weeks after Amaka's funeral. By now he thought everything would be in his name. The house, the businesses, the lands, the cars. But nothing had changed. The lawyer kept delaying. Kunle was done waiting. That afternoon he drove straight to the lawyer's office. No appointment, no call. He stormed in, ready to take control. Barrister Olani looked up as Kunle entered without knocking. No surprise on his face. He closed his file calmly and leaned back. "I need to speak to you now," Kunle said, standing tall. "Speak," the lawyer replied, cool and firm. Kunle stepped closer. "You and I don't need to be at war. We can work together. I can pay you good money. Just move everything faster. Amaka's properties should be in my hands by now." The lawyer frowned. "Mr. Kunle, I am a lawyer, not a market trader. I do not take bribes." Kunle scoffed. "Oh, please, everyone has a price." "Not me," the lawyer said, shaking his head. "And for your information, the will reading has been moved. It will now hold in 1 month, not 2 weeks as planned." Kunle's eyes flew wide. "What? 1 month? Are you mad?" The lawyer arched a brow. "It's a legal decision. We found new details that need review." Kunle slammed a palm on the desk. "You old fool. I'm beginning to suspect you. In fact, I think you and Amaka were lovers." The lawyer stared without blinking. Kunle raised his voice. "Yes, I said it. That woman was a demon. She was cheating on me with you, a useless old man like you. You both deserve hell." The lawyer rose slowly. "Enough." Kunle kept ranting. "You think I'm stupid? You think I don't see what's going on? You're using the law to block me because you're hiding something. Maybe you were hoping she'd dash you part of her wealth too." The lawyer came around the desk and faced him eye to eye. "Let me tell you something, Mr. Kunle," he said, voice sharp and steady. "You are a fool, a useless, idle, jobless man. That's what you are. Instead of mourning your wife, you're here hurling insults and hunting shortcuts. You built nothing with Amaka. You only enjoyed the fruit of her labor. Now she's gone, and you can't even pretend to be decent." Kunle fell silent, stunned by the sting of those words. Then he hissed, spun around, and stormed out, slamming the door so hard the frame shook. Barrister Olani sank back into his chair, massaging his temples. He had met men like Kunle all his life, greedy, loud, hollow inside. He also understood this matter was dangerous. Amaka had warned him, and he had braced for anything. That evening, driving home, Olani's car picked up speed down a slope. He hit the brakes, nothing. His heart lurched. He pressed again. Still nothing. The vehicle veered off the road, flipped, and landed upside down. The driver did not move. Barrister Olani was dead. By morning, the news spread. The lawyer in charge of Amaka Okesi's estate was gone. Car crash. Brake failure. At first, no one suspected foul play. It looked like an accident. In the shadows, Kunle smiled. One less obstacle. What Kunle didn't know was this. Olani had an adult son, a tough, sharp, fearless attorney named Barrister Faye Olani. He was also a lawyer and already knew every detail about Amaka's file. His father had briefed him months earlier. 4 days after burying his father, Faye returned to the office in a black suit. His face was calm. Inside, he burned. His father was more than counsel. He was a hero. Now someone had taken him away. Faye walked to his father's desk, unlocked a drawer, and pulled out the thick Amaka Okesi file. He smiled to himself. "This just got interesting," he murmured. He sat, lifted the phone, and called the probate court. "Yes, this is Barrister Faye Olani. I'm assuming the Amaka Okesi matter as next of kin and legal successor to my father. Yes, officially, no delays. Notify all parties that the case continues under my care." He set the phone down, leaned back, and whispered, "Let the real game begin." Kunle lounged in the garden of Amaka's estate, sipping juice like he owned the world. He'd just gotten off a call with a fake investor he hoped would fast-track the property transfers. But things weren't moving fast enough. Questions were rising. Bisi was getting edgy, and since the lawyer's sudden death, Kunle felt watched. He had no proof, but his instincts pricked. Something was off. Footsteps approached. He turned to see Amaka's father, Mr. Okoro, coming toward him. The old man looked worn but unwavering, a hard light in his eyes. Kunle smirked but stayed seated. "What do you want, old man?" he said, not bothering with a greeting. Mr. Okoro stopped in front of him. "I came to warn you." Kunle raised a brow. "Warn me about what?" "You will never get a single thing from my daughter's will," the old man said. "Never. I know exactly who you are. I knew from the start. You're wicked, deceitful, a leech. I should have stopped Amaka from marrying you." Kunle rose slowly until they were eye to eye. "And who are you to talk to me like that? You shameless pauper. Go make your own money instead of circling your daughter's estate like a vulture." Mr. Okoro did not blink. "You lazy youth. You think feeding off a woman makes you a man? You're a thief hiding inside a marriage. You and that good-for-nothing Bisi, both of you will pay. You think we don't see what you're doing." Kunle's smirk faded. "I'm her husband. I have rights." "You have nothing," the old man shot back. "You were just an ornament in Amaka's life, a load she dragged along. Now that she's gone, you want to claim what you never built." Kunle hissed, "Leave here before I lose my temper." But Mr. Okoro didn't budge. "For your information," he said evenly, "there's a new lawyer now, Barrister Faye Olani, the late counsel's son. Tall, strong, hard-working, sharp. Everything you are not. A real man. You think you finished his father, but shame on you. He has a son, and that son is coming for you." Kunle's face twitched. "Son? Which son?" The old man stepped closer. "Yes, a son. You didn't know because you're too busy chasing shortcuts. You didn't even ask questions before dancing on the man's grave. You took out a lawyer who had already told his son everything, every single detail. That son now runs the case, and he's smarter than his father, better connected, more dangerous." Kunle clenched his fists. "Watch your mouth." Mr. Okoro laughed. "Or what? You'll finish me, too, like you did the lawyer. Hear me well. We're watching you. We're gathering proof. When we move, you'll understand what real disgrace feels like." Kunle kept quiet, heart thudding. He tried to hide it behind pride. The old man pointed at him. "Start hunting for a hiding place, because when the truth lands, you and that snake you call a girlfriend will crash hard. You tried to loot a dead woman. You wanted to drink her blood and erase her people. You will fail. Always." With that, the old man turned and walked away slowly. Kunle stood there, breathing hard. The words cut deeper than he expected. He stared at the ground, then the sky, and cursed under his breath. So the foolish lawyer had a son. Nobody told him, and now this stubborn old man won't let him rest. What kind of family is this? Still, inside him, fear began to spread. Amaka's father wasn't scared anymore. The lawyer was gone, but a younger, stronger one had stepped in. If they truly were stacking evidence, things could turn ugly. Feeling ashamed at last, Amaka's parents went to their daughter's supposed grave to ask forgiveness. They stood in silence, facing the gray slab. Her mother dropped to her knees, tears streaming. "My child, forgive me. I failed you. I should have wept for you. I should have prayed for your soul. Instead, I chased your wealth. I was angry you didn't send enough money. I never stopped to think what you carried. I didn't know how hard it was. I was selfish." Her father stood by, face heavy with guilt. "Amaka, my daughter, I warned you about Kunle. I said he wasn't your match, but you didn't listen. Still, that gave us no right to scavenge your name. We were wrong. We forgot you were more than money. You were our child." The morning air was still. Birds skimmed the tree behind the grave as if they heard every word. For the first time, Amaka's parents felt the full weight of her absence. They remained there a long while, praying quietly, hoping somehow she could hear. Meanwhile, across town, Barrister Faye Olani was deep in his late father's files. He had gathered fresh facts about the brake failure. The mechanic's report confirmed the lines were cut clean with a tool, not a fault, a setup. Foy now believed it completely. His father was murdered. That morning, he went to the police quietly and lodged the evidence. They opened an investigation and kept it discreet. That evening, Foy sat alone in his office, surrounded by documents and heavy thoughts. The case grew heavier each day. Too many lies, too many secrets. Every clue around his father's death pointed in one direction, Kunle, but it still wasn't enough. Not yet. The phone beside him rang, unknown number. He answered, tired but alert. "Hello?" A calm voice, soft and steady. "Good evening, Barrister Faye. Please don't panic. I'm Amaka Okoro." Faye's eyes flew wide. He sat up straight. "What did you just say?" "I'm Amaka," the voice repeated. "I'm alive. I need to see you. Don't tell anyone. I'm sending an address now." The call ended before he could ask more. A message arrived seconds later. An address. A gated, wealthy estate on the quiet edge of the city. He grabbed his keys and left immediately, questions pounding in his chest. When Faye arrived, the estate security waved him through without a word. Someone had already cleared him. Inside, the homes were large and hushed, with high fences and flowered lawns. He found the house, parked, and saw the gate open. He stepped into the compound, unsure what he would meet. The house was beautiful, simple, peaceful. Then the door opened and she stepped out. Amaka. She looked nothing like the public photos. Slimmer frame, smooth glowing skin, eyes tired yet calm. Faye froze. He couldn't speak. The woman the world buried was standing alive before him. "You're real," he managed at last. She smiled gently. "Very real. Come in." He followed her into a cool, well-furnished living room. "You truly faked your death," he said slowly. She nodded. "I had to. Something was wrong. I felt it in my bones. People I trusted were changing. My husband, my best friend, even my parents. I needed to see who they really were." Faye leaned forward. "Why me? Why now?" Amaka held his gaze. "Because your father was my friend, my advisor, and now he's gone. I believe Kunle caused that crash." Faye didn't hesitate. "We believe that too. We have the brake report. It was cut, not faulty. Someone did it. I'm already working with 2 police contacts." Amaka nodded slowly. "I've been watching. I saw Kunle at my funeral standing beside Lillian like I never existed. I saw my parents tearing at my things like I was only a bank account. I saw Kamsi crying with no one to hold her. I kept quiet, but now I'm done hiding." Faya studied her face. "Are you ready to return?" She drew a long breath. "Almost. I want the truth to surface on its own. I don't want revenge. I want to come back as Amaka, wiser this time." They sat in silence. The clock ticked softly in the corner. Amaka rose and walked to the window. "There was a time I thought Kunle loved me. I gave him everything. I forgave the silence, the lies, the distance. I thought Lillian was my sister. I gave her more than she earned. In the end, they watched me sink, waiting for the right moment. Now they want to eat what they didn't build." Faye stood too. He stepped closer, then paused. "Amaka, you're so beautiful. I must say it. You're stronger than I imagined. Peace and power in one body." She looked at him quietly. "Thank you." Faye said no more. He picked up his files and moved to the door. "I'll guard this secret. When you're ready, I'll stand with you." She nodded gently. "I'll be ready soon." He stepped into the night, heart racing. The woman they buried was alive, and the storm coming would shake everything. Kunle sat in the living room, hands trembling. He glanced through the window and back again. Something wasn't right. Kunle could feel it in his bones. He glanced from the window back to the living room, nerves buzzing, then faced Lara on the sofa with her phone in hand. "Babe," he said under his breath, "we need to talk." She looked up, one eyebrow high. "What again?" He lowered his voice like walls had ears. "I think someone is tailing me." Eyes everywhere, inside the car, at the supermarket, even last night at the filling station. "I swear someone was watching." Lara laughed. "Kunle, are you losing it? Who would trail you?" He shook his head. "I don't know. That's the problem. Maybe Mireya's people, maybe police, maybe that new lawyer. I don't feel safe. We should leave town for now." Lara's smile faded. She sat forward. "Leave for what? We've come too far. This is not the time to run. We stay and take everything. You were her husband. It's your right. Don't start shaking now." Kunle rubbed his palms together. "Something is off. It's too quiet. That's how trouble hides. And her father won't let up, always watching me." Lara stood, cupped his face and smirked. "Forget them. If her parents don't back down, they'll soon join their ancestors. They're old, stubborn, and in our way. Be strong." Kunle nodded slowly. "You're right. Especially that useless old man calling himself her father, always forming saint. When I'm done, he'll regret crossing me." Lara kissed his cheek. "That's my guy. No running. We finish what we started." Meanwhile, across town in the family house, the air was heavy but calm. Chiamaka sat with her parents. Her father spoke first. "Chiamaka, we're sorry, truly. After your sister's death, we lost our way." Her mother dabbed her eyes. We chased what she left and forgot the person. We should have mourned her and honored her kindness, not fight like animals." Her father added softly, "We prayed last night. We asked God to forgive us, and we hope Maria can forgive us too." Chiamaka squeezed both their hands. "She will. Wherever she is, I believe she hears us. She loved you." Her mother pulled her close. "Thank you, my child. You carry your sister's heart." They held one another for the first time in peace. Then Chiamaka remembered. "I almost forgot," she said, wiping her face. "The lawyer called. The will reading is in 5 days. It'll be at Maria's house." They traded looks. At last, answers were coming. They hugged again through fresh tears, this time not for property, but for closure. Far away in a luxury apartment on the island, Kunle's phone buzzed. He checked it and grinned. "Update, babe," he told Lara. "Will reading in 5 days." Lara clapped. "Finally. I'm ready." Kunle's smile stretched wide. "I can't wait. We'll scoop everything and vanish. I told you, once it's done, we tour the world. Paris, London, Dubai, first class. We'll live like true royalty." Lara laughed. "Yes, babe, you and me forever. Our time." Kunle raised his glass to freedom, to money, to the life he claimed Mireya denied him. They clinked their glasses and drank, certain they had already won. But what they didn't know was this. The woman they thought they buried was waiting, watching, listening. The day finally arrived. The will reading was set for noon inside Mireya's mansion. Tension sat in the air. Her parents came early in simple clothes. Chiamaka sat quietly beside them. Barrister Fea stood at the front, checking the last documents. The room was still but heavy. Then the front gate swung open. Kunle walked in with his head high, Lara on his arm. He wore a fresh suit. She glided beside him. Kunle glanced around and smirked. "At last," he whispered, "our time." He brushed past Mireya's parents without a greeting. Lara squeezed his hand and murmured, "I can't wait to see their faces when they call your name." Kunle chuckled. "I hope they cry." Fei cleared his throat and rose. "We'll begin now. Thank you all for coming. This will matters, not just for the wealth involved, but for the woman behind it, Mireya Adekoya." The room hushed. Some bowed their heads. Fei went on. "This will is valid, binding, and was signed in full health and sound mind. But before I read it, I must announce that something has changed, something major." The front door eased open. Everyone turned and saw her. Mireya, alive, upright in white, face composed, presence fierce. Chiamaka gasped and covered her mouth. Her mother rose, tears breaking. Her father dropped to his knees. The room froze. Kunle's jaw fell. Lara slid behind him like she'd seen a ghost. Mireya walked to the center and faced them all. "I'm not dead," she said, clear and steady. "I never was. But today, something else will be buried. Lies, greed, betrayal, and wickedness." The silence cut like glass. Kunle tried to form words. "Mireya, how? We buried..." Mireya lifted a palm. "Don't speak. You've done enough." She turned to Lara. "You held my hand and stabbed my back. You wore black at my funeral while warming my husband's bed. You even stood beside my coffin, pretending to care. Shame will follow you everywhere." Lara stammered, "Mireya, please, I didn't..." "Save it," Mireya snapped. "I watched. I listened. I know everything." She faced the lawyer. "Fea, please proceed." Before he could, police officers stepped in. Two moved straight to Kunle. "Mr. Kunle," one said, "you are under arrest for the murder of Barrister Olanian. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used against you in court." Gasps rippled around the room. Kunle trembled. No, 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 this is wrong. I didn't kill anyone. Mireya stepped forward. You did. You killed a good man because he protected me, because he stood between you and your greed. Now the law stands between you and your plans. Kunle swung to Lara. Babe, help me. Say something. Lara backed away. I told you we should have left. I told you it was getting scary. The officers dragged Kunle out. He shouted, Mireya, please. Mireya, forgive me. Mireya, I loved you. Mireya said nothing. Later that week, Kunle was found guilty of conspiracy and murder. He received life in prison without parole. As for Lara, disgrace clung to her like a shadow. When she came to Mireya weeks later, crying and begging, the gate stayed shut. Mireya only sent a message. I don't hate you, but I will never forgive you. Not in this life. Lara collapsed outside the house. She wept and ranted. She tried to curse Mireya, then blamed the devil, then blamed love. None of it mattered. She had lost everything, her friend, her name, her future. Mireya sat quietly in her living room as her parents stood before her. They stood there looking crushed and ashamed. Her father cleared his throat and said, Mireya, my daughter, we came to apologize. Greed blinded us. We didn't mourn you. We didn't guard your name. We fought over your things instead of honoring your memory. Please forgive us. Her mother wiped her face. We should have stood with Amaka. We should have trusted you, but we let money rule our hearts. From today, we won't live like that again. We are sorry. Deeply sorry. Mireya watched them for a long moment, then spoke softly. I forgive you. You are my parents. You failed me, but I see your remorse. I only pray the change is real. Let love lead you, not money. I don't need anything from you. Just be better. Her mother broke down again and gripped Mireya's hands. Her father bowed his head and whispered, Thank you, my child. Time moved on. Mireya focused on rebuilding. She stayed away from noise and kept only the faithful near. One of them was Barrister Faye. He protected her secret. He stood beside her without asking for anything. Slowly, closeness grew. Quiet friendship became something more. A month later, they started dating, and 6 months after that, they married in a small, calm ceremony with a few true friends and family. That day, Mireya smiled like she hadn't in years. Faye brought peace, not problems. He loved her for who she was, not what she had, and they lived quietly and happy, far from drama. As for Lara, her road turned dark. After Kunle got life in prison, she became the most despised woman in the city. No one hired her. No one picked her calls. She moved into a tiny room in the slums. She clung to pride, but shame trailed her everywhere. Months later, she became pregnant by a roadside mechanic who vanished the moment he found out. Each night, she sat alone, staring at her growing belly, thinking of Mireya's mansion, the cars, the life she threw away for greed. She tried to blame everyone, but at the end she knew it was her fault. Moral of the story: greed burns faster than fire. Betrayal may feel strong, but it always ends in disgrace. True love doesn't chase riches, it builds peace. Family isn't only blood, it is loyalty. And no matter how far you run from the truth, it will still find you. Dear viewers, what lessons did you draw from this story? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed it, tap like, share with friends, and hit subscribe. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our new uploads. Thank you for watching, and stay blessed.